Hey everybody, welcome back to Ogre Speed Shop, and again we are at the junkyard. So we're on to the third project I want to try to get revived here, and let me turn you around and see what we got. So what we got here is, I believe, a 1957 GMC. I think it's only like a 1500. It's got it's got 6-lug wheels. So is it 6 or 5? Yeah, 6-lug. So it's just a half ton, but what makes it kind of unique is this was pulled out of a field or a forest or something in Sayre, Oklahoma, and it left part of it with it. So they had to cut it out with a chainsaw. But here's the thing, I have a vision for this thing, and that is we're leaving that in there, turn this thing into a complete rat rod, and just go with it, you know? I think it'll be pretty cool to leave it like that, and I got a name for it already, Triple T, the Tree Trunk Truck. So I know it's kind of corny, but hey, it's the first truck I've really named. I haven't named anything else yet, so. But let's go ahead and just to give a quick walk around. It's I believe a 57. Got the quad headlights like I like on the GMCs. I know some Chevys have that too, but you know, the fact that the GMC just makes it that much better for me. I love the GMCs. Look at that. I don't know what that's out of. But anyways, got a big old bumper on there. Got the even the roof rack or the headache rack, whatever you want to call it, homemade. That you can tell was made out of you know, parts off of a well. That's well piping. That's pretty cool. And look at that. Actual stamped license plate from 1960. So, pretty cool. Open her up, and we got to do some body work, obviously. But again, another manual. This might be a 3-speed. Don't really know. We have a door sticker. Nope. I don't know where the plaques are for these things, but yeah. She's definitely a project, but I think it's something we could take on. Let's go ahead and open up the hood and see what we got. All right. Oh, look at it. That should work. So we definitely got some kind of inline 6 here. You got GMC stamped on the valve cover. That's pretty cool. I don't know if that's dirt and muck. I think it is. Like, it's almost like, feels like a bed liner. But yeah, I got inline 6. I have no idea what size it is. Looking for any kind of identification plate on this thing. I don't see nothing. Maybe it's on the passenger door. Let me look real quick just to see. Oh, it's locked on this side. Well, that's something we'll have to remedy later. Well, basically, I just want to see if the engine will turn. And wow, these pulleys are not lined up at all. Or they're using the wrong pulley. But anyways, let's see if it'll turn. Oh yeah, it's moving. Cool. Well, I think the whole thing is moving. Let me check the shifter. Make sure the transmission's in neutral. That's going to need some work because it's not going into any kind of gear. That was the clutch. And it springs back. I don't know if it's actually doing anything, but seems to be in neutral. Oh, that's cool. It's got a push. It's got the pedal starts in there. All right, so we know it spins. And yep, that lever is still hooked up for the starter. Pretty cool. Just a lot of spark plug wires. But yeah, so a good start. So it's got an oil bath air cleaner as well. So, all right, so let's start thinking about how we're gonna get this thing running. Spark plug wires are gonna be a big thing. But yeah, it's been probably over a month since I've worked on this, and we just basically started the video, tested to see if it would turn, and then kind of gave up on it because I had other things going on that day. But so I'm back. We moved it over to where it's easier to work on for me, which is great. So we're gonna pop the hood and take a look at it. I did discover something the other day with it, and yeah, it kind of makes sense to be, because I haven't dealt with this year yet, but I'll explain what I'm talking about here. Over the years, I've never dealt with a 6-volt system. And I thought for sure this was a 6-volt system because, for one, it's got a generator. 2, it's got a red wire going to ground over here, so I thought it was positive ground. Turns out it's not. 1959, it was 12 volts still, or they went to 12 volts. And now it makes sense why Jeff at Yao Auto Supply in Elk City was like, really, it's 6 volts? Yeah, because it's not. It's 12 volts. So now it kind of makes sense as to why. So we're gonna put a 12-volt battery in here. I did try cranking it over the 6-volt, and it just did not do nothing. And there's some arcing and sparking going on, so I'm not sure where that's coming from or why it's doing that. But we'll have to figure that out later. I'm gonna clean that generator off and see if it says 12 volts on it somewhere, because it probably should if it is 12 volts, just to be sure. And I mean, these cables are freaking crazy. See all this open cabling here. I'm not sure what they used it for, but yeah. And the reason why I discovered it, because I found this ground here, which is grounded directly to the block. So I'm like, okay, we'll try that. And it cranks very slowly with a 6-volt battery. But we're going to try the 12-volt now. I went ahead and cut, see that blue wire right here? It was attached down there to the battery post. I went ahead and cut that because I don't want to deal with arcing and sparking. I think that's where the power is coming from. So we're going to test it right now. See, it's still arcing and sparking. And you see right there, got wires touching. I don't know where it's getting power from though. Oh, I see it. Be that one right there. So I may disconnect that so we don't get power to it, because that's grounding out somewhere. It could be anywhere. Yep. Let's just see how it cranks. Yep, it cranks a lot better with 12 volts. Not much better, but we got to do something about power. I have to assume it's going to be that main power going in there, which is what's shorting out. Ooh, I can smell it. Make sure nothing's on fire. Yep, it's definitely hot in here somewhere. So I'll stick around a little bit while it's disconnected and wait just to be sure. So I went ahead and cut that wire. It's going into the cab just because I don't want to deal with that arcing and sparking right now. So I just got rid of the power. I don't know where it went. I cut it, but I don't know where it went. So we don't need, oh, there it is. So we don't need that hooked up to get it to run. So, but if you look here now, it's not, there's no arkies and sparkies, but it should still crank, I would think. Let's try using the pedal. It actually does have a pedal. Yep. Pretty cool. I like that it's got a start pedal. Did it get hot at all? No, it stopped being hot, so that's good. So we know what the problem was. It was that one main wire to the truck, and I'll rewire it before I even think about going any further with it. But we can get it cranking and running the way it is, at least try. But obviously, we're missing a few spark plug wires, so definitely got to come back for that one. All right, so we're back on the 59, the GMC. Got a new battery cable on there. Got rid of those big old cables that were doing nothing. These old aluminum stuff that was just worthless. But all I needed was a new battery cable, a new positive cable. Got the air cleaner off. I'm going to test for spark and see what happens. Tie this down here. Well, we're arcing, so something's happening. Put a little gas down it. And hopefully the starter works. Oh! Holy cow! This is carb cleaner. Wow, it's actually doing something. The starter figured out, but hey, she ran. Holy cow. So we gotta do some wiring and fuel system. Wow, that's cool. All right, that's a start. Literally, all right. Earlier, couldn't get it to bark off, even though it was showing spark, but it's also got a really bad oil leak. We'll worry about that in the other video. You may have already seen that, I don't know yet. But this is a good win for the day. We actually got this thing to bark off, so it shouldn't be too hard to get it running. That's pretty awesome. We're back for the 59 here. I gotta get the hood open because I closed it completely yesterday, and hopefully it'll unlatch. But we got fuel. We gotta get fuel to it and see if this thing will stay running for a little bit longer than just a couple seconds. And we'll check coolant and do all that good stuff. But let's get into it and get this thing going. All right, so this fuel pump down here, it's got a glass bowl on it. So we're gonna take that off and see what we got. Hopefully it doesn't mess up the seal too bad. Maybe I should just leave it and disconnect from here and see what we get. See if there's anything going into it, anything going out of it. Maybe I'll just disconnect up here first and crank it and see if it's pumping. And if it's pumping anything. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna disconnect it up here, see if it's pumping. If it's pumping, then good. We can disconnect down there and then go from there. Let's see if we get this line off of here. Oh yeah, shouldn't be too bad. This is like a compression fitting style. It's not a standard tube nut, so. Yep, so that's got like a compression fitting on it. That's different. I have to change that, but it's fine for now. Battery. Let's see how the starter is acting today. Hopefully it'll just crank and we can tell whether or not it's pumping. Yeah. Doesn't seem to be, but that could just be because there's no fuel in it. So let's try that. The line off the fuel pump, the line coming from the tank. There's some nasty smelling gas in there. So I'm gonna fill this up, backfill it, and see if it'll pump that way. I'm gonna backfill it with a Berryman's carb cleaner just to see. So I forgot to mention, when I fired this up the other day, or yesterday, when I was out here and it fired up, I did go in and I filed the points and did the Mortsky flick on the points as well, just to see, and it fired up. So I think we're pretty good on that. So I'm going to move you out of the way over here so you can see this way. Should move my truck too, but hopefully it spews. That's what we're hoping for. We want to see it pump. All right, I can live with that. Let's get a fuel source hooked up to it. We'll reattach that up there. Hopefully it's pumping good enough that we can make this work. All right, so we got the fuel, the boat tank hooked up here, down to the fuel pump. Now we're gonna see if it'll pump. I blocked my area for using the starter. Battery. Seems to work when I use the pedal, so I'm going to try that. I got to fix this door too. Figures it was working fine earlier, now it won't. Alright, I think that'll probably work. I don't have anything to catch yet. Alright, that's going to be good enough. Well, we don't have much for exhaust. I just broke off a big piece of it, but it should be at least flowing. So, just point it this way because it's loose. Point it towards dirt. Just gotta watch that, make sure it doesn't catch fire. Still should be a little bit damp out here, but I don't want to trust it. So I think we're about ready. I got a wire ready to go to hook up, and we'll go from there. All right, so I think should be good to go. The negative post tied up here. Made the connection quick release there and here. So if anything happens, we should be able to shut it off pretty quickly. We're arcing. All right, let's see what happens. I don't think we're getting any fuel. I took you off speaker because I want you to be able to hear it. If it does bark off, you know this came off. That's something. We're spewing oil. Why has everything got an oil leak? Well, it runs. That was pulling fuel. But started leaking right on that hose right there. So I don't even know what that hose goes to. This isn't the oil filter an added thing? Everything's got to have an oil leak, huh? Okay, we got a runner. All right, so that actually drained quite a bit of oil. I don't want to run it anymore until I can fix that. Figure out how to fix it. I think it's just a standard hose. It goes. Yeah, it's going into the. Yeah, it's just a hose that goes to the oil pan. So if I can get a hose like that, replace that. It'll be part one, I guess. What is that? Crap. So yeah, let me figure out what I need to do for that hose. I don't see any clamps or nothing. How's that even on there? I don't know. I'll be back. I'll let you know. I hope to get some part. Hopefully got the parts it needs to fix this oil leak. I can either bypass it from the pan up to this point where it goes into the block right there, or I can, I got fittings that hopefully one of them will fit in each one. I can just put a regular hose on there. That's what I'm hoping for down here, is just to get that working. So we'll see. And figures, the whole time I was in town, it was overcast. You can see it over there. But I get here, and there's the sun right out in the freaking open. So, but at least there's a breeze. So I got that bypass. You see the hose right here? Go from the top of the head here down to the oil pan or the bottom of the engine, wherever that might go. So I got the fuel hooked up, power hooked up. We just got to put the ground on, crank it again, see if we can run a little bit longer. Hopefully the wind is to your back, so it shouldn't be a problem, but you never know. There might be a little wind in this video. It just happens. That's because that's hooked up. All right, let's see what happens. Every time. All right, try from the inside of the truck. It's because of the battery, or I should clean that ground. It might be an issue. Still spewing oil. Doesn't make any sense. What the? Well, I thought I bypassed it. Alright, what am I missing here? It's obviously hooked up someplace because otherwise it wouldn't be spewing out everywhere. I don't understand. I gotta look this up and see what the heck's going on. Alright, we're back again on the 59 GMC. It stormed pretty good last night, but some things we definitely need to do today. I want to get it cleaned out. So, but the main thing is fixing that oil leak. I think I got everything I need to fix it. Hopefully it doesn't spring any more leaks, because there's like one more hose that could be a problem. That's a cool looking truck. But anyways, so let's get this thing opened up, get that oil line fixed, make sure it's good, and then we'll worry about getting the rest of the stuff done. I also brought some stuff to hopefully get this dent kind of pulled back out this way, so I can bring this around and the door open easier, because it's already, it's pretty dinged up and getting worse. So I got to get the metal out of the way over here so it doesn't catch the door here. So, but anyways, let's get into it, see what we got to do. Okay, so I got that line routed now, so that's basically doing the exact same thing the other one was doing. It's just kind of looping a little bit differently. This fitting up here needs to be there, because it actually has a 1/16 of an inch orifice or hole in it that helps control the flow of oil. Now the only thing I'm worried about now is we got one more rubber hose right here. It kind of looks wet, so I got a bad feeling that might leak too. I can feel a chunk missing right there, so I'm gonna crank it, see if it, well, for one, if it stops leaking everywhere else. We'll see if it leaks there. And then I'll see about replacing that line next. So, yeah, fun. All right, let's crank her up again and see what happens. It needs to run a little bit longer than what it was before because, yeah, you know why. Because it needs to circulate oil. I should probably check the oil, but let me just crank it real quick, see what happens. Of course. I cleaned the negative battery cable and it's still doing it. Fuel. Let me take this lid off. And oil bath. I'm going to kickstart it. Use our spark. Oh. Forgot to switch batteries, so the positive's over here now. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. rubber hose left is freaking leaking. So let's figure that out now. Yeah, I got the line out. So I think what I'm gonna do, since I don't have any way of fixing it here, I'm gonna cut it here, do a tube nut, do a flared fitting with a coupler, and run a new line. Cut this off here, and just run a new line and just hose clamp it. I think would be the best bet. So you know, this is 1/4 inch. You know, I got 5/16 oil resistant line, but yeah, I can reconnect this one here because that one just goes from the head down to the block. So I don't know if that's the drain or if that's the pressure to the is what supplies the valves, or the, you know what I'm talking about, the top end. So I gotta make that new line, but I don't have the means of doing it here. So I gotta fix this and bring it back. So of course, you know, another trip back, but it's okay. We're gonna go do some work on that because I am doing 2 videos at once here, and go see if we can fix the oil leak on that one. But yeah, hopefully all that's just from it spewing over yesterday. But we'll get it figured out. That's the only other line I saw. I thought there was another one, but it's actually the fuel line. It's just up against the canister filter. So we gotta fix that. Or not fix that, just ignore that basically. So one line to fix, we should be good. Before we head out, we're gonna check and see if this thing will hold water or not. That'd make it a lot easier when we come back. If it does. So far so good, no leaks. Got 1 gallon in. Hopefully I just drained it. That'd be nice. Well, we're into gallon number 3. I don't see any puddles forming underneath it. This is going straight into the oil pan. Seems to be holding. I am putting straight water in because there's no worry about it freezing anytime soon. This is just so we can run it a little bit longer once we get all the oil leaks fixed. Wow. Gallon number 3. Well, at least I can see it now. There you have it. It's 3.5 gallons and it's right there. Should probably still leak down a little bit here, and that upper radiator hose is no good. But it seems to be holding good enough. But I'll definitely look into getting hoses for this. Don't know if I'll be able to get it soon enough, but yeah. So it's holding it for now. Looks like it's probably gonna start leaking right there. Actually, I see water. So the upper hose is definitely gonna leak. So I see if I can get the upper and lower hoses for this thing too. Right, we're back with the new repair line here. So you just put back in the block on that side. So there's a point right down there. You can't see it, but it's right in here. That attaches to on this side, and then I'm just going to loop this hose around into here with a straight line. So it should be good enough to make it work. And I bought a new upper radiator hose as well, because that one definitely ain't going to last. And I don't know about the lower, but we'll have to take our chances with that. But anyways, let's get this thing installed. Alrighty, we got the new upper radiator hose in. Hopefully the lower one stays, you know, it's good. It's got a different hose clamp on it, so maybe it's been replaced in the past. You know, mind you, probably 30 years ago in the past, but still. So let's get it top this off, make sure we have enough fluid in there. And we'll try firing it up, make sure we don't have any more oil leaks. One of the bad things is when I had this upper radiator hose off, it's pretty crusty down inside the thermostat housing. And I don't know how well it's gonna flow like that, but at least there's something in it, so it can run it a little bit longer than just a couple seconds. All right, so I know we've all heard this already, but this should be the first time we hear it without oil leaks and with coolant in it. So let's hope it works. Now you gotta stick around and make sure nothing catches on fire. That's water, coolant, that's coolant, water, oil, maybe a little, the gasoline's all gone. So we gotta let this thing cool down, and we're getting one step closer. This thing's running. We just gotta get it to idle. I think a lot of it has to do with just, yeah, the choke was stuck. That's awesome. Does it work on the inside? If it has a choke, I don't know where it's at. There it is. No, it's frozen. That was stuck. Let's see if it's open or closed now. I can't see. Okay, there, the choke is all the way open. I think it was stuck closed a little bit, so that could have been part of our issue. Let's see if it'll idle. That's my goal, is I want to see it idle. Well, the starter is going to kill me here. Mess with the auto mixture screw a little bit. Maybe just kind of spin it out and see where it's at. Half. Wow, it's only a half turn out. Let's pull it out and spray it down and clean it a little bit. The rule of thumb is usually what, turn and a half at least. Yeah. So couple cleaner down in there. Manifold's a little warm. Half, one and a half. Let's try that. Come on, starter, don't fail me. Oh my God, that's awesome. Look at that. Just idling like it fired, like it hasn't been fired up, or like it was fired up yesterday. Well, I guess it kind of was. But you know what I mean. This thing is doing awesome. Wow. Love it. Gotta hear it again. Can't help myself. Let's try not to drive without giving it gas this time. What? That's awesome. Love it. Alright. So we're getting somewhere. I'm going to get the front wheels off of this thing, take them with me, see about getting some tires, or at least check out the brakes. I don't know. There's a lot to do on it. Huh. Should I see if it goes into gear? I was saying here that I'm not going to sit in there until I clean it out. That's awesome. It really is. 30 years this thing didn't set in it. I mean, it had to have been 20 at least. It had a 20-foot tree growing through the grill, or the grill guard. Huh. Man, this is too cool. What in the world is that thing? Do I know what that is? Can you see it in the video? I don't know. So it's a vacuum. It's electric. Oh, it's like, I don't know, some kind of electric vacuum pump, maybe? I don't know, we'll figure it out. Well, it does have a ballast resistor, so it must reduce it somewhere, and it's leaking coolant somewhere. So it is leaking coolant somewhere from the radiator, maybe? Dripping off the radiator. It could be, hopefully it's just residual and spilling, but what are the odds of that? It's not leaking. Now there's a, looks like it's probably got a hole right in here somewhere. We're doing good. I'm happy with that. Right, we're back at the 59 GMC at the junkyard. I'm going to get it cleaned out today, so we're going to get all the stuff out of there, and that's just nasty. So as you can see, it's pretty nasty. The wind's blowing pretty hard again today, but I got my microphone going. Hopefully it's blocking it a little bit. Get all that stuff out of there. Probably some more stuff out of here. I want to get the wheels, at least the fronts, off of it, so I can take those to get some tires. We'll check the brakes, see how bad they're locked up, and then yeah, we'll just kind of go from there. See what we got to do. See, it's got to actually, this actually has a hubcap on it, but it's all gone except for the ring that holds it in. But yeah, I know some of the wheels aren't the originals. I think that one might be. Maybe not, I don't know. I think this front one here is one of the originals. Yeah, this matches the other one I have. So I don't know. We'll figure it all out. I don't think there's not 4 matching wheels with it. You know, just put it that way. But yeah, let's get this thing cleaned out. And if y'all are wondering about the windshield, they're only like $250 right now, so it shouldn't be too bad. But this is the mess I got to clean out today. All right, we got it somewhat cleaned out. Still got a lot of stuff in there. I'm not ready to take the seat out yet. I do want to check the fuel. Is that a locking fuel cap? No, thank God. I want to check that out too, just to see if I can figure out a way of bending this to make it open easier. That might have to wait till I get it home and actually can work a little bit better on it. But yeah, it's a little better than it was. Not so much stuff in it. Still a lot to go. I'll probably blow it out with the leaf blower thingy. But I got some more out of the back here. It does have an original wood bed that's been covered by metal by the looks of it. So I see wood planks over there, right there. So I'll be kind of curious to see what's underneath the rest of it. All right, so we got the truck kind of cleaned out. Got the wheels off of it as well. And check this out. We got a spinner. Now it's the only one that spins. All the rest of them are frozen up, but hey, one can't ask for everything, right? So we got one that spins. The rest of them gotta get unlocked at some point, and we've done that a couple times on here, so shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to do today with this. So we got some errands to run and then get home and do some work on some other vehicles out there. I got like 10 things going on right now, so this works. Try to get these things freed up. Get some rollers to be able to get this thing out of here. Here's a cool looking truck. So we're going to start talking about the brakes being locked up and having to free them up. And then I found some wheels, 5 of them on Marketplace for a 64 C10 that should work on this. And we're going to find out here in a second if they do. So that's what I did here. My microphone wasn't working apparently. But yeah, that's one of the tires that actually holds air. I got 2 other tires and 2 other rims, so 5 total to put on the truck. So worked out pretty good. I just gotta get 2 new tires, and we'll be back to this. And but yeah, that's what I'm saying here. I hate when my microphone don't work because I don't remember what I said or what I was doing during the time. But that's what I'm doing. I'm checking out the brakes. I think those are going to work perfectly. They don't hit the tie rod. They fit on there perfect. Right bolt pattern. Had one lug nut. It didn't want to go on, but that's an easy fix. A little bit of a scare when I was putting that on there. This stupid thing tipped over. So I gotta do something about that, get it centered better so it falls this way, or get it out of there. But I don't have any way of getting it out of here unless Freddie comes out and he can lift it out with the fork truck for me or something. But I'm going to try to tip it back this way so it's leaning the other way. So I think the other thing I'm going to do is, while the tire's on there, it gives me a little more leverage. See if I'll spin it and break the brakes loose or not. If not, then I'm going to take the wheels off anyways, but take it off and see if I can break them loose. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we're not completely frozen. Pretty frozen, but not completely frozen. Well, as I say that, I think I got it stuck. Ugh. All right, I think we can break it loose, so I'm going to take the wheel off, lube it up, and try to shake it around a little bit more. I'll let this thing back down, see if we can get the weight for that engine to come back this way. I might as well put the mat down because I brought them for a reason. It was exactly this kind of thing. See if I can just motor tip back over. There we go. That's better weight distribution. It's warm today. I think that's good enough to make it roll. Oh yeah, that's freed up enough. Now work on the other three because we know that one back there is still good for spins. There's a good way to tell that your drum brakes have never been off the vehicle. Still has the little metal clips, the retaining clips that hold it on there. So this is the only one that's still stuck, and it's not being very kind. But we'll get it off, get it loose. This side over here, the passenger side front, actually came pretty easy. A little bit of a PB blaster and a crowbar worked good. This side back here, whole different story. Man, that thing was locked on there. It was only locked on the very top. Well, I guess the whole pad was, or the whole shoe was. So, but we got it loose now, so good to go on that one. So now it'll roll. I mean, we do later just to get it rolling or moving and shaking and doing all the good stuff. But yep, so we got to come back for the brakes and wheels. I need tires still. All right, so we are back for the 59 here because we got some tires to put on it and make it a roller. So we got to get the jack out, get the tires on, get it jacked up. What is that underneath there? I don't know. We'll figure that out once we get it moved. But hopefully we'll actually get it moving today too. That's the plan, and the goal is to get it to run. Well, we already know it runs. To get it to drive. So we're going to see if this transmission works. We got the brakes unlocked the other day, last time we were out here. So it's time to make this thing work. And maybe get it moved up there so I can get it loaded on the trailer. There you have it. First time on all fours in probably 30 years. So, looking good. And next thing we're going to try to do is, well, we know it's going to run. Or at least we hope it'll run again. So we're going to see if we can move it. And get the transmission and make sure it's working. And see if I can drive it somewhere. And yeah, go from there. We got her all wired up. I got new ignition system on it. I didn't have a fitting for that, an eyelet for that. So just kind of wrapped around the battery cable. I got it run through the original ballast resistor and run in here to a switch. So the only power this thing has is this switch, and it works. I already tested it. So that switch and starter power. So we should be able to get it running and make it work that way. So that's what we're going to try. So let me get some fuel hooked up to it and we'll go from there. Well, let's see if she'll fire up. She sure did run good last time. Power on. And it's doing that again. Come on, start pulling power. Start pulling fuel. Alright, I'm going to try something here. We had full voltage going to it before, so maybe that's what it needs. We got juice now. Let's see if it'll fire. We don't have brakes, but hey, she moved. I forgot the gearing. Reverse is weird. It's only a 3-speed, maybe. Reverse. She doesn't want to idle today, but hey, it's a start. I'm going to burn the coil up. Seems like it needs 12 volts though. Maybe I got to bypass the resistor, which I can do. It's a little bit easier than doing all this stuff. But look at that, she moved. That's pretty cool. Well, it drove. I think I might have just shattered the back window. I'll have to look at the video. Hopefully it was already broken, but I think the stuff I had on the roof, something fell down, made a big bang. I don't know if the window was already broken. I hope it was, but I don't know yet. We'll have to find out. I'll have to check the video. You guys probably saw. Well, we saw her drive. Now she's loaded up in order to save another one from the junkyard, from the crusher. So let's get her home and then we can start digging into her at some point. I know I got way too many projects, don't I? But, you know, I'd rather save them and have them sit in my yard waiting for work than have them crushed. So that's where we're at with this one. It's a good looking truck though. Needs some body work and some, you know, dent repair and glass and lights and wiring and all that good stuff. But it runs, it drives. Hey, you know, can't ask for everything, can you? All right. Let's get this thing home. Oh, we made her home. With pretty much no hitch. I mean, it was a nice smooth drive home. I actually, I didn't center it very well in the trailer. Like when I was first loading it, the tires were lined up perfectly. You know, I had this one like right on that line and this one right on that line. And somehow once I get it loaded up, it slid sideways. I don't know. Probably just once I got it up, I kind of turned the wheel a little too much. But I actually had the weight distribution perfect because that engine right there is mostly on the driver's side of the truck. So we're gonna figure out what that is. That actually is. I think it's an older inline six, maybe like a 235 or something. I'll have to figure it out just to see what it is. I'm sure it's completely locked up, but yeah, the whole point of it is that we got this thing home. So now we can start doing some work on it, get it off the trailer, and just, I don't know, we'll figure out what we're gonna do with it. Probably one of the first things is do a better patch right there. Looks like they just put some Bondo in that. But we'll figure it all out. I got some visions for it. Not sure what exactly we're gonna do yet. I'm gonna tell you this much. That tree trunk is not coming out. That is gonna be a permanent fixture in this thing. And because it's history. The thing grew up through that over 20 some years sitting in the field. So we're gonna keep it there to remember that it was sat in the field for that long. But yeah, that's where we're at. We got it home. We gotta get off the trailer. But I don't think it's be for a different, actually I probably won't even film that. Just getting out the trailer. All right, that's gonna do it for this video on the 59 GMC that we pulled out of a junkyard. So yes, I don't have a shirt on because it's almost 100 degrees today and it's humid. So we're gonna end it out this way. We don't know what the next step is yet on it, but something's coming. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications, tell your friends, share it, do all that good stuff, because we got more coming on that. Just like we got more coming on everything here. I got like 10 projects going on, but you know what they say, idle hands, right? So I like to keep busy, and that means having a bunch of projects, and that's what I'm gonna have. So, like again, if you like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff, and if you made it to the very end of this, I really appreciate it. So until next time, I will see you all later.